Kia ora, hello, I'm Philip Duncan. It's Thursday, the 6th of November. Thank you for joining me as we take a look at the forecast for the weekend and the outlook for most of next week. Let's have a look at the lightning and satellite imagery. Low pressure north of New Zealand, close to Tonga. There's also some low pressure south of Fiji at the moment. A fair bit of cloud, and we've got some thunderstorms out in the Tasman Sea left over from that significant thunderstorm outbreak that left Australia a couple of days ago. But this area of convergence with these thunderstorms is being smothered by high pressure that is exiting around Sydney and high pressure that is still well northeast of New Zealand but kind of pushing back, and they sort of link up out over the Tasman, just sort of chokes and squeezes away the life from that system. So there are some clouds and a few thunderstorms offshore and to the north, but really most of New Zealand is dry with a subtropical breeze coming down. No wonder a number of places are warmer than average at the moment around New Zealand, especially in the north and the east. Here is the air pressure map. So the two highs I was telling you about, they've joined together basically. And while there is a little bit of cloud and a few showers trapped sort of between those two centres, there's not really a lot of wet weather. Most of that is further northwards where you've got these low pressure zones. Big storm south of New Zealand. That's what just brought the last burst of severe weather to Australia. That is dropping very quickly away over the Southern Ocean now, but it is also going to encourage a bit of a westerly that is surging past the lower South Island. There's colder air also nearby, and that just may brush some parts of the South Island, but it's only at the very south, and it's not very much of a cold change for you. So here is the Friday setup. That's the polar boundary I was just talking about. So it is south of you, but some of you might just notice it's not as warm maybe in some areas, but really if you track the origins of these isobars, it's coming from out of Australia. So yes, cold air is nearby, but it's still fairly mild and even warmer at the top of the country, where we've got a few showers that may start to bubble up as the day goes on. As we go to Saturday, this is later into the day, 4 o'clock, and that's because I wanted to sort of highlight some of these downpours that may form around inland parts of Northland. Could be a heavy fall, could be a thunderstorm as a result of that. Otherwise, most places are dry, few showers or some patchy rain down around Fiordland, South Westland and Stewart Island, but there's still a west to northwest wind in many places. Now, sure, there could still be a local northeasterly, some areas in the South Island are getting that, and maybe some sou'westers coming through the mountains, but really the airflow coming into the country is from the north and northwest. So that's why Saturday will be another warm day, even hot in some areas. Sunday, similar kind of setup, still got these downpours that could form around Northland, Coromandel Peninsula. It might move into some parts of Waikato and Auckland, but for now, mostly dry on Sunday in many areas. So just the very top of the country has got that downpour risk, and then you've got some kind of patchy rain, not very heavy, moving into Fiordland. Otherwise, it is a dry day on Sunday, so a mostly dry weekend is on the way, but things change next week. Not dramatically and not instantly for most areas, but we are seeing the high pressure zones disappear and being replaced by low pressure zones. So that's the first time this month that we've seen that, which has been a nice change based on the last couple of months. So yeah, we could see a few showers bubbling up around the Coromandel, Kaimai Ranges, Mamakus, and over to the eastern side of Bay of Plenty. But the main area of rain on the west coast, where there could be heavy falls and a few thunderstorms, as the winds are northwesterly at the top, low pressure off the west coast, and then a cooler change coming in behind it, although the polar boundary still well south of the country. But western rain moves in, and a few showers will spill over into Southland and Otago, maybe some parts of inland Canterbury and the high country. And you've got a windy nor'wester kicking in at the top of the South Island, mainly through the mountains and the usual Marlborough Sounds, Cook Strait area, Wellington, those sorts of areas on Monday. By Tuesday, that system pretty much falls apart, but we do still have a lot of low pressure further to the south here. And you can see this cold blast coming in to Victoria, Tasmania, and just going into New South Wales. So that is going right up to the same northern latitude as New Zealand. So that's a big cold outbreak for them, but for us, temperatures may be down a wee bit, especially around the South Island, but in the North Island, it's still mild with a northerly wind coming down in some areas, subtropical. We'll see showers and cloud. Warm nights are quite likely with that sort of setup, but the daytime temperatures in most areas may just be down a degree or two because of the cloud cover rather than the sunny conditions that we're getting right now. And we go through to Wednesday of next week, and you see what I mean about low pressure. We've got low pressure near the North Island, low pressure east of us, low pressure south of the Chatham Islands, and of course a storm south of Tasmania, where the polar boundary is getting closer again to the lower South Island. So quite a few things going on, kind of classic November chaos, where 1 minute it feels like summer and the next minute it doesn't. But it's certainly going to be a bit of an unsettled week, but there's no major temperature drop coming at this stage, at least not over the next several days. And here is the next 7 days rainfall. It hasn't really changed much over the last couple of days. What you are seeing is a little more blue into the North Island. That takes you to sort of that 10 to 25, 30 millimetre mark. But if you've got the pink shading, which you can see here along the entire eastern North Island and all of Canterbury and Marlborough, you're only talking about 0 to 5 millimetres. So there may not really be a lot of rainfall coming in, and as you just saw, most of that rain will be coming in with that low pressure zone perhaps around the middle of next week, and the west coast, heaviest falls in the southern half of the island. And that's all from me for today. I'll catch you again tomorrow Friday with our next New Zealand update. See you then.